Hey guys, this is Swati and you are welcome to my YouTube channel Big Data Online School. I have come with another video on Unix basics to cover all important commands on Unix. Since we have to learn Hadoop workouts, use cases and projects and many more things, so to perform all the operations smoothly in coming videos, I thought of clearing Unix basics components first. So let's get started. First of all, we'll learn what Unix is actually. So Unix is nothing but an operating system. You can say as Unix as a command line interpreter, that is CLI. You know that we have all black and white screen and we used to work in this black and white screen only. So this is nothing but a CLI or control, we can say, that is called command line interpreter. But it's not like we don't have a graphical user interface for this Unix. This means that if you want to find some of them like list or some of the thing over here, so you can find the same in GUI as you have in Windows. So what is the basic difference then between Unix and Windows if we find the same thing in Unix also? This means that the basic difference is like files and directory structure is same, but access can be done differently. Like in Windows, we have to click everywhere with the help of mouse in order to get any of the folders opened or any of the files to be opened. But in Unix, we have to write over here. This means that we have to use keyboards here. Let me tell you an example. Suppose if you want to see movie, okay, which is in D drive of your system. So if you are using Windows system, you simply go to my computer, then you'll click D drive, and then you'll go to your movies folder, and whatever movie you like, you can open and see, right? But in Unix, what you have to do, you have to go to console and you have to go to that drive, any of the drive, if it is C drive or anything. This means like this, you have to go there and then again you have to navigate till your movies folder, and then you can see the file name of that movie. So we can see this as a basic difference. So this is the way how we can access files or directories in Unix, which is different from Windows. Now come to, if we go for Linux, Linux is nothing but a Unix clone. But if you consider a portable operating system interface, that is Linux. Unix has been portable by some of the developers, and we consider it as Linux as portable operating system interface. That is nothing but POSIX standards. So basically, we can say that Linux is a Unix clone only, that is written from scratch by Linus Torvalds with assistance from a loosely knit team of hackers across the net. Linux is a commercial form of Unix, we can say. As you know that Unix was originated by Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson. I know this name is heard by you as they are C developers also, C language developers with Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson. So Linux is basically a multitasking and powerful security system is present here. Since we are using Linux system or Unix system here in Hadoop, not Windows system, the reason being is, first of all, it is multitasking, and the second thing is it has powerful security system. So Hadoop and other frameworks chooses Linux as operating system, not Windows. And this is a robust kind of operating system, we can say. So you can install Hadoop in Linux as well as Windows operating system, but generally people used to prefer Linux operating system as it is a robust operating system, highly secured, and n number of parallel tasks can be done. This means it is a multitasking operating system. Highly secured means it takes care of authentication and authorization of user, whoever gets logged in. So here you can refer as Unix is an operating system which is capable of handling activities from multiple users at the same time performing multiple tasks. This means that it is a multiple user access system where multiple users can work simultaneously in the same system by using credentials or by logging in and perform multiple tasks in the same system. This means that at the same time you can run a job and you can listen a song and you can write something in the notepad like that. So as we have discussed that Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie has developed this in this Unix system. So it was basically originated in 1969 at AT&T Bell Labs, which is now recognized as like communication industry. Let me tell you like what Unix is. Previously, the name was not Unix. The name was UNICS. This means that Universal Computer System, which gets renamed as Uniplex Information and Computing System. And then again, after some time, this Unix has been renamed as UNIX. This means that Uniprocessor for X system. Why the name has changed? The reason being, one system is able to handle requests from n number of systems. The one system can only like handle all the requests from all the systems. Let's go for basic feature of Unix. So as we have seen from the like definition, Unix is nothing but it is a multitasking and multi-user. It has multi-user capability. Multi-user, what I meant by this is many users can log in into the system at the same time and can work simultaneously with some login credentials. The next feature is it is multitasking. It has multitasking capability. This means that the same thing that I have discussed just now, that we can perform more number of jobs at the same time, like listening song, writing in notepad, running jobs, or we can create script, we can schedule anything the same way. Next, and the best thing is it is portable, like the high portability. This means that like Unix is ported to a variety of hardware platforms. Generally, what happens is its operating system is created with the mindset that it will be operated in this machine or that machine, but Unix has been created with the mindset that it should be ported with like different variety of hardware platforms. Next feature is like it has hierarchical file system, which means that it is kind of like inverted tree. Unix file systems are stored like inverted tree. Okay, this means that the first and the foremost parent will be root, and then we can see like dev directory, or maybe home directory, or maybe PC directory, like that. I'll tell you how this happens. Next feature is security. Because of this security reason, many of the hardware platforms are referring or using this Unix operating system only. It provides security to protect users from unauthorized access of data and system. Next feature is like the communication thing. It has excellent feature for communicating with fellow users. This means that users can easily exchange data, mail, program through the network. Multiple users can log in at the same time with the credentials, and they can work by exchanging data and all the things. So these are the like you can say good feature, basic feature of Unix. Because of that only, like we are going to use this Unix in our Hadoop system. Next, we'll come to architecture. You can see as an architecture, like this hardware is related with this kernel, which is nothing but the heart of this operating system. And then this Unix commands and libraries that are nothing but are commands that we used to write in our CLI is like related with this interface that is nothing but shell or interface, system call interface. Let me explain one by one. Linux operating system is divided into major three levels. One is kernel, that is related to like that is in between this interface and this hardware. Next is this interface that is nothing but shell, and next is application programs or user written applications, the outer part where we used to write commands. Like you can refer here, if we write anything there, that is nothing but user written application. We used to write commands over there that is deals with this interface that is nothing but shell, and then that is command is interpreted, and then it has been worked with the help of kernel. So let me go one by one. Kernel. So what this kernel is nothing but the heart of operating system. It interacts with hardware, and most of the tasks like memory management, task scheduling, and file management are performed by it. We can refer it as supervisor, since it is going to supervise everything in this operating system cluster. Like this is Unix operating system, so we can refer it as supervisor. Next comes to shell, which is nothing but the interface. This is the midway between this kernel and this R command that users use to write. So we can say that it is the outer layer of operating system. It acts as an interface between users and kernel. It interprets the command given by the user, means that user will give command and it has to interpret and it has to operate. When user logs in, like uh, after logging in, login program checks credentials and starts shell in order to get interacted. Therefore, shell is also called command line interpreter. This part is nothing but this black and white thing, that is nothing called CLI, command line interpreter. We can think of many, like there can be many types of shell, like Bourne shell, Corn shell, C shell, and users can switch between those shells. So users can use according to their requirements. Next is user written application. User written application is nothing but these are the commands that we use to write in order to perform anything. Suppose we have to write scripts, we have to do like some of the commands, or we have to create system variables, we have to perform different operations, we have to schedule some of the jobs in Unix system. So these are the commands and libraries that user use in order to get its work done. So next we'll go for basic commands. Here in basic commands, we will deal with 4 or 5 major things. That is nothing but file, directories, users, their permission levels. Yeah, if you know these things and if you know how to if you know how to manage all these things, so you can say that you know Unix. Like if you can say that we can play with the Unix like anything. So what happens is in command line interpreter, you have to manage everything with commands only that we have discussed just now rather than navigating to folder, right? But to deal with these things, we have to make sure that we have to think of one thing, that Linux is case sensitive. This means that if something is in lowercase, it has to be in lowercase only. We cannot write it in uppercase or vice versa. And the next case would be camel case. Camel case means suppose if we are going to write ls and then Swati, then ls would be in small and Swati for s would be capital and then WATI would be small. I'll let you know in my next session what these means. So coming to files and directory management, we'll go for first of all listing files. So we can list of the files or directories in our system. Let me show you. This is like short list and long list. This means that if you are going to just check the list, like whatever the name of the file that is there in directory. So first of all, let me show you. Like in which directory we are. So PWD is nothing but present working directory. So you can see from here that we are in nothing but root and then home and then as user. That is, we are in our home directory. Okay, and now we want to see whatever files or directories are there with us in home directory. So if we put ls, that we have seen just now, that is nothing but short listing, we can see that only file names appear there. We cannot see like what are the timing at which it has been created, what are the access permissions, or how many bytes of file it is, or what are the number of blocks it has taken. We cannot see from here, right? So we can say it as ls, means short list. Next we'll go for long list. Long list means we'll be able to see many other things also, like what are the access permissions, how many, like what are the you can say block size, or which are the users group, and how many number of bytes it has taken, and what is the date of creation of this. So let me write it over here. So if we write like this, ls minus l, you can see like these many things, the same thing that we have seen in ls minus l, but here we can see in descriptive form. So let me tell you how we can read it. The first column that you can see shows whether it's a directory or file with the permission. Like you can see that these three, and then again these three, and then again these three. The first one is nothing but owner or user. The second one is nothing but group, and the third one is nothing but others. So we can see that read write permission a user or owner has, and then a group also has read write permission, and others have only read permission. I'll explain in this session only after some time. And in the second column, you can see it shows the block size of files or directory. So as we have seen earlier that the the default block size of that Unix operating system is 4. We have already discussed in our last video. And what is the block size of Hadoop? It's 128 MB, right? And the third and fourth column, it is nothing but it shows owner and group owner of file respectively. Like this is owner and this is group owner of the file. So since we have like SD user login, so this is our owner and this is our group owner. Next, this fifth one, like the fifth column is nothing but it shows total size of file in bytes. These are byte structures. So if we can see that if we have these pictures, that is nothing but 4096 bytes. So these are in like byte format. Next columns we can see that the date of creation and the time of creation of the file, right? And in the next column we can see the name of file in detail. So like this we can read or we can interpret whatever is written with the long list that we have read as ls minus l. Right. So next we'll go for a long list all files and directories sorting by modification time in descending order. Before going to this, let me tell you that what file and directory means. File is nothing but you can say simply a page where we are writing something, right? But a directory can have many pages in it. So how we can refer whichever our directory and whichever our file, you can see if B is written over here in the first part, it means that this is directory. This picture is nothing but directory. Okay, but if it is not started with B, it is started with only R or not R, you can say just check whether D is there or not because R has to deal with some access permission and all. If this is not started with D, this means that it is not a directory, this means this is just a file. Okay, hope you guys understood this. So let's go for long listing of files and directories with modification time sorting in descending order. So first of all, C, like ls minus l we have already seen. Now we will go for P. P is nothing but if we write ls minus P, ls minus lp means it will show all the files with all the like long list format and also with time. Okay, but if we go for ls minus lrt, this means that this r is nothing but this is reverse timing. This means that the file that has been created just now will be this the file that has been created just now will be like at the bottom and the previous file will be at the top, so it will show like this. So if we check ls minus lrt, so we can see the file that I have created just now in 16th of September, that is there in the bottom and initial files are there at the top. So this is how we can refer ls minus lrt. Next we'll see what this a means. This a is nothing but we can see hidden files with a. So what is actually hidden files? Hidden files are nothing but those files that we are hiding with the normal user because those have very critical information or those files we don't want to entertain users with. So generally you can say that dot and then file name is generally a hidden file. So if you see some of the files with dot, you can say that it is hidden file. So let me show you over here. So see, you can check here like dot abort and then dot config. These are the hidden files that was there in my like operating system, and I have hidden it with all users. But if you are like writing ls minus a, that means you are going to list all the hidden files. So in order to get all the hidden files and all the normal files, you can write ls minus lart. L means normal listing, that a long listing, and then A means showing all the hidden files, T means with all the timing, and R means with all the reverse timing zone. Means the current files created will be shown at the bottom, and the initial will be shown at the top. So we can learn here like how ls minus lart works. Next we'll go for file handling thing. Yes, we have to handle files here, like we have to create it, save it, or maybe some other terms are also there like override or append. So let's go for creating a file first. how we can create any file. Suppose if you want to create any file, let it be my let it be xyz. So we have created it. Okay, so this vi and then any of the file name, I have taken xyz. I have created a file. So this vi is nothing but it's a visual editor. Visual editor means it works in two modes: insert mode and command or escape mode, we can say. If we have to write anything, we have to make sure that we are in insert mode, and if we have to write any command, not write anything into any file, then we have to go into command or escape mode. So how we can go to insert mode and command mode is here. If we press I, it will allow us to write anything here. Right. So because we are in insert mode, that's why we are allowed to write anything in XYZ file. But if we want to go in command mode, we have to make sure that we have to press escape and then colon. And if we have to save this or maybe quit this, to save anything, we have to write WQ and then press enter. So we have saved it, our XYZ file. So how do we know that we have saved it? So we can check what is there in XYZ file. So once we cat it, we can see we have written these things in our XYZ file. And let me show you how we can quit like this without saving only. Again, we are going to XYZ and then inserting, and we are writing into our fifth record. But I'm not going to save. I'm just simply pressing escape and control, escape and colon and Q and then exclamation. So you can see here at the bottom. So if I write cat xyz, you can see only 4 records are there as we had previously. Why? Because we have not saved, like we have not pressed WQ to save, like we are not going to write and quit. We have just quitted it. So I hope you guys understood what like visual editor means and how insert mode and command mode help us. Next, we can see that if we have to write something, like if we have to replace some of the content, okay, we can just write, like we can echo it, and then with this a single greater than command, we can just echo it into some other file name. Let me show you. Suppose we have to write welcome in my file xyz. Okay, so if we write echo welcome xyz and then I'm going to cat my xyz file, it will show only welcome, not these 4 records. Okay, why it is so? It's because we have overridden all of the things that was there in already in xyz file with only one word, that is called welcome. Okay, but if you want that, no, I don't have to like override it. I just need to append something into the file that I have already created. So we can use this append symbol, which is nothing but double greater than symbol. Let me show you how it works. I'm writing echo, and this is the second line, and I'm going to put it into xyz file only. So if I'm going to cat it, it will show that I have not overridden this welcome. Instead, I have appended this second line. This is the second line into my xyz file, and I can see that these 2 lines exist in my xyz file. So this is the basic difference with the append and you can say simply override, or simply we can say that we are going to replace the content of the file. Next, if you want to create empty files, like if you are going to do vi and xyz, then it is prompted to write anything there. But if you want to create any empty files, because many a times we need some empty files in order to like perform few of the operations like merger of things, or maybe in scripting also we want sometimes that empty files to be created. So how do we do this? Just write touch command and create empty files. So these empty files, whichever we are created with touch command, these are of 0 bytes. You can see it right here. I should put minus also here. So you can see here like it is a 0-byte file, okay, which is created under end user ownership and end user group, which is nothing but a touch file that we have created just now. I hope you guys can understand this. Next we'll go for showing or displaying the content. If we want to display anything, whatever we have written in files or whatever we can see from the file, we have to do this cat command. If we want to see the whole of the content, we have to go for cat command, as we have used with this right now. That whatever is the content, if we do cat, it will show whether it will be 10,000 lines or maybe 1 crore lines. Everything will be shown here in this terminal. And if we have to see incremental content, we can write more and then file name. Next, we'll go for head and tail part. This means that if suppose we have many lines, let me first create it. Since we have one line only right now, 3, 9, 4. Okay, I'm just saving it. You can see if I do cat exercise there, you can see we have 2 and then again we have total 10 lines. Okay, but if I don't want to see all of the lines that is there in my file XYZ, and if I want to see only first few lines or maybe first 3 or 4 anything, so we can write like head and then whatever we would like to see. Since by default this head used to get 10 lines only, that's why we are able to see like 10 lines only, that is 1, 2 and then again comes to 10. But if you want to see less lines, you can write like head and then file name, and then if you want to see 2 lines, you can write -2 or maybe 5 or maybe 6. The same way you can get like this head is from the top, but if you want to get any like records from the bottom, you have to write tail and then the file name and then minus how many number of records you want to see. Okay, next we'll go for counting number of lines in a file. First of all, let's check what this means. WC. WC is nothing but it's a word count structure. You can say this is for word count. If we write WC and then file name, you can see here some of the digits. What this means that this WC has 11 number of lines. Okay, and this means that it has like 14 number of words, which has 58 number of characters, and its file name is XYZ. So here we can refer like how many words, how many lines, how many you can say characters of with the file name you can see. So if you want to get only like word count, if you want to get how many number of lines we have in this XYZ file, so you can get it like WC minus L and then the file name. You can see here that we have 11 lines in this in this XYZ file. If you want to see how many number of characters, you can simply write WC minus P and then file names 58. That we have already verified like the number of characters, and the similar way we can see like number of words. Okay, so this way counting number of like lines or characters or maybe words we can find out. Next we'll go for file operations. This means that if we have to copy, move or remove anything, okay, so we can do this with the help of few of the commands. To copy anything, it's like we have to write cp and then xyz and then some other file. Since we already have this xyz file, and then what we did is, it's like we have copied this xyz file into abc. Okay, and then if we cat this abc file, we can see the same thing that we had in our xyz folder, that is in abc also. So like this way we can say that we have copied all the content of xyz into abc. The next is move. Move means it's like if we have if we have something in ABC and we want to move it to some other folder. Okay, so we can write MV command. This means that we are moving all of the content of ABC into ASD and making it as null or blank. It doesn't have anything. If we are going to find this ABC, we won't be getting anything. See, since we already had ABC previously, but since we have moved it right now, so it is showing no files or directory named ABC. This means that the basic difference between move and copy is it's like for copy we are just like copying the content of this file 1 to file 2. But for if we write move like MV command, we are renaming our file from file 1 to file 2, or here we can say the file 2 to file 3. Hope you guys get it. Next is remove. Remove means you can delete any of the folder. Like uh, we have like okay ASD file, so we can delete it. And if we see ASD, we won't be able to get it. See what it is written, no such file or directory. Why? Because we have already removed it. Hope you guys understood this. Next we'll go for directory handling. This is like this is the basic, since we have to navigate all across the like all of the files and all of the directories in our system. So this is the basic. Let me clear this terminal. Okay. So we have to deal with few of the symbols, like this is tilde, or maybe this, or maybe dot, or maybe double dot. We have to deal with all of the symbols so that we would navigate from one file or folder structure to other. So let me help you with this. If we write PWD, it will show like in which present working directory you are. Okay. So suppose we are moving from home as the user to some temp directory. Okay, now if you see, you are in root and then temp directory. Okay, so in order to go to your home directory, you have to write cd and then tilde. So you can see once the cd and tilde has been executed, you can see we have reached into home as the user. So you can refer that to go to home directory. We should use this tilde. Tilde knows what our home directory is. Okay, next is dot double dot. Okay, so what dot means? Dot means that if we are writing dot only, okay, and like if we are writing dot only, it means that we don't need to navigate. We want to be there only, like at the same directory that we are previously see. We were in SD user only, and now also we are in SD user also. But if we are writing cd double dot, it will make sure that it will navigate us to the one back directory. Like if we are in slash home slash SD user, so it will make us to be navigated to home directory. See, previously we were in home as the user, but since we have written cd double dot, we are now in home. And again, if we write cd double dot, we will be in root directory, which is nothing but the parent of all of the directory. I hope you guys understood this. Next is this hyphen command. This is nothing but this command is generally used for toggling between directories. You can refer if you are watching TV and in remote also you have toggle button where you can see what was the previous like channel that you were referring or that you were seeing at that time. So cd and then if we write hyphen, this is toggling between directories command. I hope you guys understood this. Next we'll go for path. This is the important concept in operating system. Okay, so we have two kinds of paths. Paths are nothing but you can say these are the like if we go for simple browser, you can say URL. If you give the correct URL, you will come to or you will navigate to the correct page in internet. So the same way you can refer. If you give the correct path, so you'll land into the correct directory or correct file. So we have two kind of paths. One is absolute path and one is relative path. Okay, so absolute path means you can say that we are giving the correct path from parent to the folder or directory where we have to go. Let me show you what I mean. Suppose I am in temp directory. Okay, Now I need to go to SD user file. Okay, so in order to go to SD user, I have to write everything, like all of the path, like first it should come root directory, then home, then SD user, like this. So this is nothing but absolute file, absolute path, where we have to write everything, or maybe we have to write all of the details of the path. But the relative path is just opposite. This means that let's, if we are already in home directory and we want to go to SD user, so instead of writing this whole command, why can't we just write cd and then SD user? See, we have landed into home SD user only. This means that if we are already in home directory and we want to navigate to SD user, just we have written a cd and SD user. So how it is helpful for us, like absolute path is helpful or relative path is helpful. So we can refer it if we are in same same folder or maybe same directory, and we have to create something or we have to navigate to the same file or folder structure. So instead of writing the whole of the path, the long path, we can just write simple path name and then we can navigate with cd command, right? But let's suppose we are in some other folder and we have to go to some different folder. So if we are going to write home cd and then SD user, we won't be able to go to this SD user folder. Instead, it will show you error that it is not able to recognize what SD user is. So we have to write the whole thing, cd, then slash, then home, and then slash, and then SD user. Like this, you have to write. So this is the basic difference between absolute path and relative path. Hope you guys understood this. Next, we'll go for directory operations. Directory operations, we can say that we have to create directory, or maybe change directory, or move directory, remove directory. How does it help? Let me show you. Like to create any of the directory, we have to write mkdir and we have created mkdir and this dir name. So this directory name has dir name that we have created with mkdir. Uh, so this is created with in terms of relative path only. This means that we are already in home as the user path and we have created this directory name. Okay, but let's say we are in some other folder, like we are in same folder and we will have to create one folder like dir name into our home as the user path. So if we write mkdir and then dir name, it would create this directory in temp folder. So in order to create our this directory into the correct folder, we should go for like absolute path, mkdir, then slash home, then slash as the user, and then direct like dir name. Let me show you. Okay, this directory already exists. That's why it's showing this. Okay, see, I'm in TMP file, but then also I'm going to create one dir name one in which is there in home as the user folder, and it allows me to create so. Why? Because I'm giving absolute path instead of relative path that we were giving previously. But if we are not giving this absolute path, it will not allow us to create in home as the user file. Okay, next is if we have to create recursive files. This means that if we want to create subfolders with folders at a one go, we can write like mkdir minus p, and then parent would be dir name one, under that one dir2 folder would be there, and under that one dir3 folder would be there. So like this we can create these files. Okay, so if you can check, if you go for this, you are in dir3 direction. Okay, so if you are going to like dir double dot, you can see the one back parent is dir2, and the same way if you are going to cd again double dot, you can see the parent directory is dir1. So if you are putting minus p, this means that it allows us for creating like sub directories at a one go. Next is we can change the directory name, like change the directory as we always used to do, like cd and then go to some other directory, and if you want to go back, you can do cd double dot. Next is a move directory. As we have seen that moving files, like renaming files, the same way we can do for directory also. Move directory name and directory name one. This means that if we do this operation, this will be vanished, and one directory that has all the content of their name will be shown there. The same way we can remove the directory as we did for files. Okay. Next, we'll see some of the admin commands. So this is like the basic things that we have to see in order to like create users or create groups, or who are the like create others, and use those permissions and provide permissions, or maybe revoke them. First of all, we are going to manage users and groups. So in order to check like which are the users, which are the groups we have, like we have logged in with some of the credentials. So I'll show you, like we have the user that is called SD user, which has ID 500. We are under the group user that is called SD user, and we are also the part of Hadoop that is some other users. So you can see we like I am SD user and I am under group SD user, and I am also part of some Hadoop user. So like this way we can see like who are the users that is logged in. So basically you have a concept of three user level. One is user, one is group. Let me show you. Okay, one is user or maybe owner, one is group, and one is others. So we have three we have concept of three user levels. These are the things like as we have seen in terminal, like this is the owner or user, this is the group, and these are other people that has already logged in. So if we want, we can create some of the users. Like right now, this you can see that as SD user has been created, but if you want, you can create some other users also. Let me show you. Okay, before going to this, let me discuss what this sudo means. Sudo is like you can use the power of other users in order to get few details, or in order to create or delete, or like change the access or grant or revoke the permission for that. So if we are writing sudo and then writing some of the admin commands, you will be allowed to do the operations if you have credentials. So since I had credentials, so I have logged in and I have created a user as Big Data Online School. So now our users will be Big Data Online School along with this LT user. The same way you can create and delete the group, like sudo and then group add with Big Data Online School. Same sudo and then group delete as Big Data Online School. So this way you can create or delete the groups and users. Next we'll go for managing permissions. As we have discussed, like we have three kind of level: owner, group, and others. So the owner, group, and others have the permission. Like we have seen here, if you can see like this if we write ls minus la add, you can see that this is a directory which is preceded with b, and then consider these three, and then again these three, and then this three. This means that the owner of this directory tool has all the permission of read, write, and execute. R means read, and then W means write, and X means execute. Then group of this directory tool, that is nothing but SD user, has all the permissions. Okay, but like other user which is not under this SD user, they don't have any write permission. They just have permission for read and execute. Read is like simply reading the file. Write is like putting something new into the file or maybe modifying it. And execute means, you can say if we have some script files and we want to execute it. So these are the permissions, that is like basic permissions, you can say. So you can see over here also, if we are doing a simple ls minus l command, you can see like this is lwx, like consider three part at the same time, and then r and x because it doesn't have write operation, and then the third one, the others, has only read operation. Okay, the similar way we can see the permissions for some other of the files or other directories also. So if you want to grant access or if you want to revoke access, we have to do change mode. That is nothing but ch mode. Okay, so basically there are two kind of structure. One is like simply giving like or providing access like by writing rw or x, or next is by writing numbers. So first of all, let's go for simply writing rw and x numbers, rw and x like text, and then I'll go for the other one, that number format. So to change permission of owner and provide access and write access, you can write like ch mode, which is nothing but change mode. We are giving user the permission of reading and writing, and on the file name, whatever the file name will be. This means that we are allowing access for this user, user, into this file name to read and write. The same way we can give to group or we can give to others also. For group we have G and for others we have O. We are giving access to group to read and write on this file name. Again we can do the same for others. Okay. Other way also we can revoke the access, or maybe we can provide execute access. Also, if we are going to revoke write access from others, we have to write ch mode o minus w and then file name. This means we are going to revoke write access with this file name. This is like how we can grant or revoke permission with the help of text. The similar way we can do is like we can use number format. Number format is like, as I have already discussed, that we have read and then write and then execute permissions, right? So for read we have power, like we have 4 as number for power, and then again for write we have 2, and for executive we have 1. If we want to give permission to like any of the users, like first of all it will be user. Just I'm giving an example. I'll show you what happens here. User and then group and then others, and then some file name. This means that we can see that we are going to give access as read write execute to user. So 4 plus 2 plus 1, that is 7. And for group, if we are going to give read and write permission, that is 4 plus 6. And for others, if we are going to only give only read permission, we can give 6, which is file 1. So by this way we can give access to user, group and others at the same time on any other file. I hope you guys understood this. Next we will go for changing owners and groups. If you want, if you are an admin, you can change owners or maybe groups at the one go. Like if you want to change owner from a user to BigDataOnlineSchool, you can just write the ch and then owners, chon, sudo change ownership from like anything. If you want to change from BigDataOnlineSchool to file name 1, or maybe if you want to change the group to some other like group, you can do the same. Next we'll go for common directories. And these are the basics that you have seen in all of the structure. Like in our in our organization, we generally use putty terminal for like using any of the Linux files. So you must have seen what this means. So common directories are like, this is nothing but root directory. That is the top level of file hierarchy. This is /bin. This is nothing but this /bin is available for all the users where executable files are located. This dev, /dev, these are device drivers info such as USB, terminal device, etc. This /etc means configuration files are kept here. All the configuration files like user files or group files, anything. Next is /lib, means it has certain shared library files and other kernel related files also, which we can refer and we can perform the operations. Next is /home. It means that it contains directory like home directory for user and other accounts also. We have seen just now like /home, we have all the home directory and home directory for user it was, right? Next is /user. This is used for like miscellaneous purpose and is used by many users. This includes administrative commands, shared files, library files, etc. Next, /var. This is nothing but we have some variables, you can say as system variables, etc. There. So you can refer these files. These are the common directives that we should know what is this and why we are using this. Next, we will go for some miscellaneous commands. So in order to check some of the miscellaneous commands, you can see I have shown you here the example that in order to check the version of Linux, if we write /etc issue, why we are going to this /etc folder as we have discussed right now, because we have all the configuration files there only, and we can see what is the version of Linux. Next is, if you want to identify all running process, we can write like ms ps-ef. This means that whatever the process is running in background, we can see the process along with the process ID. If we write ps-ef, let me show you. These are the process that is running in the background along with the process ID here. So like this we can see. Next is killing to kill a process like that is running. Suppose in our organization we have faced many issues, like we have to kill few of the jobs that is running right away. So we can kill with the process ID. See, whatever the process ID we got from here, we can just type kill -9 and the process ID, and we will be able to kill the process. Suppose if we want to kill this dash, so if we are getting this process ID, we can write kill -9 and then process ID, and then that would be killed. Next is grep command. This is very important command. This is nothing but search, we can say search command, okay, where we are going to search in this file name. This is the text, or you can say this is the string. We are going to search line 22 in this file name. If that is there, we can see where this line 22 is present. So we are going to use grep command in future also. Next is, if you want to use some of the variables with few of the like values, we can create the same. It's like we are going to create a variable a with any of the string, and then if we go to code that variable, we'll be able to do that. Let me show you. This is basically helpful in scripting and some other things as well. Like if I'm going to, this is the basic thing. If I'm going to write as a as variable, and I have put under a as welcome, and if I'm going to see what is under a, we can see by using echo, like what is there, it's welcome written over there. So this way we can create variables, and we'll be using this. We'll be performing more of the operations in our next videos. I'll let you know everything in detail there. Next is compression. If some files are very large, we can compress that, and if you want to decompress it, we can simply uncompress it. Few of the compression techniques are like gzip, and then like gunzip, we can see. So while installing HADOOP and while checking all the configuration files, we can see how files are compressed there. And first of all, we have to do tar and uncompress the files. Similarly, some zip files are also there, and we have to do that gunzip, like we have to unzip it, or we have to see how tar would work there. So these are the basics of Unix, and I hope you guys understood this. So we'll meet in our next session, where we are going to install HADOOP, and we are going to check whatever the notes are there, how we are going to deal with this. Okay.